some Pharisees approached him being Jesus, to test Jesus, and they said, "Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife on any grounds?" So Jesus replies, "Haven't you heard or haven't you read?" He replied that he who created them in the beginning made them male and female. And he also said, "For this reason, a man will leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two will become one flesh." So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. So Jesus is being given this question about divorce, and Jesus' answer is actually kind of interesting. Jesus doesn't give like a simple like, okay, well, you do this and this happens and here's this, then yes or no or that sort of thing. It's interesting. Jesus' reply is actually biology. Jesus goes with biology, and so he makes this clear distinction that there is male and then there is female. Now, also why I bring up this verse in particular is because some people use the argument of like, oh, well, that's what the Old Testament says about this topic, or that's what Paul says about this topic. What does Jesus say? Some people use the belief of like, oh, well, only what Jesus says, that's all I'm going to believe. Everything else is not of God. It's only what Jesus says. And so if you want to use that argument, well, okay, Jesus actually addresses this idea, and he speaks to this idea of the family unit. So he addresses the biology of it, that God created the male and female, and that is the man that will leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and then they will be fruitful, and then they will multiply.